In a peaceful little village, there were two boys who were as close as brothers. One was 6 years old, the other 10. They did everything together, from eating to playing, and were simply inseparable. One beautiful afternoon, they ran out to the fields to play tag. "You can't catch me," the older boy teased while running ahead. "Oh yes, I can," the younger one shouted back with laughter, chasing after him. Caught up in the fun, the older boy didn't notice a deep well hidden behind some bushes. Suddenly, he slipped and fell straight in. "Help me, I can't swim!" he screamed, flailing in the water. The 6-year-old froze in shock as he saw his friend struggling to stay afloat. Panic surged through him, but there was no one nearby to call for help. He had to act. His eyes scanned the area desperately, and they landed on an old bucket tied to a long rope. Without hesitation, he grabbed it, tossed it down the well, and shouted, "Hold on." The older boy grabbed it quickly. But now came the hardest part. The little boy had to pull him up. The rope was heavy, and his tiny hands trembled with effort. His arms burned, feet dug into the earth for balance, and sweat dripped from his brow. "I won't let go. I won't let go," he repeated to himself, determined not to give up. Even when the rope slipped a few times, he gripped it again with all his strength. With one final pull, he managed to drag his friend out of the well. Both boys collapsed on the ground, breathing heavily, tears streaming down their faces from fear and relief. Lying there, hearts pounding, they stared at each other. You really saved me," the older boy whispered, eyes glistening with emotion. "Who else would I play with if you were gone?" The little one replied with a tearful laugh. They sat together in silence, leaning against each other, trying to catch their breath. But then a thought struck them both. "Oh no, if our parents find out, we're in so much trouble." Despite their hesitation, they chose to tell the truth. As they walked back to the village, they excitedly recounted what had happened, hoping to be praised. But to their shock, the adults burst into laughter. "A 6-year-old pulled a 10-year-old out of a well? Impossible! He can't even lift a bucket of water." The disbelief hit them like a cold wave. Their hearts sank. Amidst the mockery, only one man didn't laugh. Uncle Frederick, a respected elder known for his wisdom. He stepped forward, eyes kind and steady. "The question isn't how the 6-year-old did it," he said gently, "but why he was able to do it." The crowd fell silent. He continued, "Because at that moment, there was no one to say, 'You're too small,' or 'You're not strong enough,' or 'You can't do it.' No one, including himself, told him he couldn't." The villagers began to reflect in silence. Uncle Frederick smiled warmly. Because he wasn't limited by doubt, he went beyond what others thought was impossible. At that moment, the village realized a powerful truth. When we're not confined by others' beliefs or our own self-doubt, we are capable of the extraordinary. Message: the only real limits are the ones we believe in. If no one tells you you can't, you may just discover you can. From Uncle Frederick's words, the whole village fell silent. A 6-year-old had achieved the unthinkable, not through physical strength, but because no one, including himself, said he couldn't. Frederick's deep voice echoed gently, "The only limits are those we place in our minds. If no one tells you you're too small, too weak, then you won't doubt yourself either." He paused, then added, "It's doubt that makes us weak, and belief that makes us strong." Now, the villagers looked at the boy with newfound admiration. This story became an inspiration not just for the village, but for anyone who's ever thought they were not enough. When no one says you can't, you'll discover you can. Believe in yourself. That is the greatest strength you have. The tale of the two boys isn't just a childhood memory. It's a clear reminder of the hidden power inside each of us. A power that doesn't come from muscle, but from belief. In that moment, no one stood there to say, "You're too weak, you can't do it." No doubt held him back, and he never doubted himself either. That's why the impossible became possible. The greatest limit is the belief that limits exist. When you think you're not capable, you won't try. But if no one, including you, says you can't, then you'll always find a way. Doubt knocks us down. Belief lifts us up. So wherever you are, whoever you are, remember, when you stop doubting yourself, you'll uncover the extraordinary strength that's always been inside you.